Hi there and welcome to another vlog from Business Computer Solutions. Today I wanted to show you all about a new application that has appeared in the Office 365 portal. Now, as you can see here, I'm logged into the portal and you've got all of your usual applications such as Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneDrive and SharePoint. And there's lots of other applications there in here as well, and I encourage you to take a look at some of those and also look out for some future vlogs as we continue to sort of delve into some of these ones. But today I wanted to show you this new one that's appeared called Microsoft Forms. So I'm going to click on this link over here and it loads up Microsoft Forms. Now the first thing you might notice is the fact it's got this preview word written up here. That's basically they're still in testing mode. Now it's been available in the educational licensing for a few months now, and it's now just been released to sort of business users as well. And it will remain in preview while they're sort of doing some testing and they're going to sort of iron out any sort of bugs that they might find. But for all intents and purposes, it's absolutely fine to use, and I encourage you to do so. So what is Microsoft Forms? Well, there's two different elements to this. You've either got the forms and you've actually got quizzes. And I'm going to take you through both of those and give you a bit of an idea of how they both work and how they can be used in your business. Now, forms and quizzes are very much about collecting information, collecting data, and it can be used for all kinds of things. And sort of the examples I give today may be a little bit loose, but they'll just give you an idea of exactly how the functionality within the software works. So I'm going to click on New Form to get started with. And you've got these two tabs. We've got questions and we've got responses. Now, of course, at the moment, there is no responses yet because we haven't created the form. But back to questions here, and you've got this ability here to add a question. Now, we're faced with these four different options here. So we can create some questions that are choices. We can create free-form text boxes. We can do it on a ratings basis. We can do it via date format. And we'll go through each of those to get a bit of an idea how that looks. So if I click on, first of all, we're going to go up here and we're going to type this one. And we're going to call this our fruit form. Let's keep it nice and simple. Now we do have the ability, if we want to add a picture into this as well, and that'll sort of be included on sort of the header as part of the form. I'm going to add, we can add a description as well, just here if you wanted to put something in there. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in, try the choice type of question host. And here we've got to put a question in. I'm going to type in here, let's try this one. Do you like apples? I mean, who doesn't like apples? But anyway, so you've got a couple of different options now. That's the question, and you've got the different types of responses that you can ask for. Now, you can either type in your own responses into here, option 1 and 2, and add in further options if you like. And you've also got these suggested options here. So we can either add all, which is effectively yes, no, and maybe, or you can individually click them. And I'm going to just click yes and no, because who would type in maybe for the question, do you like apples? I don't think anyone. So here we go. We've got our question and we've got our different answer options here. Now, we also have these sections down here. You can have multiple answers. Not that you, in this case, should type in yes or and no, but if you do have a question that would require multiple answers, you can toggle that particular one on or off there. And the same if it's a required question. You can make sure that the only way people can complete this form is by making sure they absolutely answer this question or as many questions as you want by making that particular question a required question. And you go ahead and add your additional questions on here. But for the time being, you can see obviously up here we've got the option here that we can copy the question, you can delete them, and you can move them up and down and change the order of them. But for the time being here, I'm just going to we've automatically saved. We're using the web-based one. So I'm just going to finish that one there. And we've got that one now. We've got this option here at the top here. We can preview our form. We can select the theme and we can share it. And we've got our menu options here with sort of branching, settings, feedback and help and so on. But in the meantime, we're going to try this first option here. We're going to take a look at our form. So here we go. This is what our form would look like. So we've got our question. And it tells us that when it gives a little bit of a warning here, when it's going to let them know. We might see their name and email address if they do complete the form, so they understand. But in the first instance, we've got our question here: do you like apples? And we've got our options here. We can type in yes or no, and then we can submit that form. So there we go. That's what the form is going to look like, and we can toggle between what it looks like on a mobile phone or onto a computer. Now, the theme option here is the ability to actually change the way it looks here. So we can change it with this nice little office background on that one here. You can change it to different colours and so on and so forth. So we'll keep that one on there, and we're going to go back here. So we now see that what it would look like if we have a question there, doing that with our nice theme on it, and we're using the first option on there. But let's go back here, and I'm going to go back to the questions. And now I'm going to go back into, I want to change the question title. We can add another question comment. Let's try a different question here. And we're going to try the text one here. And when we click the text button, here we go, get a question in, and we've got the same option here. So again, you can type in your question into here, add a picture if you require that, and then you can have this is what the person had, the ability to answer the question in a free-form text field. Now, they also have the ability to make that a long answer, and so that makes it sort of a much larger box rather than just a single line that it's got there. If you want to give them the opportunity to make it a much longer answer, and again to make it required here. Also the ability to put any restrictions or subtitles into there. Let's try the other question types. We've also got the rating option. So, out of 5, how would you rate your apple? You've got the ability here to then change it. At the moment, it's default to level 5, so 5 stars, and it has its stars. We can change the stars to a number if you want to do 1 to 5, and you can change that from either 5 or 10 on that option there. We keep that at 5, keep it on the number there, and with the 5, this is the NPS scoring system. If that's something you wanted to do, you can set it up with the 1 to 5 on the number sequence there. And then the last option is the date option, which is here you give them the ability to maybe, we're having the company barbecue, for example, what dates would you like this to take place? And people can sort of necessarily choose dates that that are working for them, so they can click into that there, and it will give them the option to do that. So that's what that will look like. If we preview that, you can now see that we've got our different question types in there, and obviously how to answer that question here. So when you click in the date, you get the option to select the date on that one there. We can close that down. Also got our 1 to 5 rating here. We can type in that there. You've got your freeform box here, which we can type as much information as we need to in that, and you can see that just expands. That's unlimited because we made that the long answer, and there's all the different types of questions that we've got for our particular form. Now, that's how it all works with forms, and obviously once people have got that, your responses are collected into here. Now, we've reselected the theme, and the share option is where what you're going to do with that particular piece of information here. So, we've got a couple of things here. We can either, most likely, we're going to use this form here, which you can copy that, and that's an online form, an online link for that exact form, and you can post that onto an email, onto a website, anywhere you like, and that's that option here, which is the link option. If you prefer to use QR codes, you can do that as well by selecting here, and it will generate a QR code for you. You can embed it straight onto your website, the form, how it looks here, just like that, using this bit of code here. So if you're used to putting iframes within websites or WordPress sites, and you can do that here, you've got the option to do that. Or you can email it straight to anyone you want to send that to, and that's what that looks like there. With obviously, and what it's done is just created the email and populated the link in there for people to go and have a look at. And if we click on that particular link, we can see now what that particularly looks like. We can see there's our fruit form, and that's how it looks like on the particular bits on there. And we can type into bits and pieces into here. Now, once I have typed an answer into this, it won't let me do it again because I am logged in as a user. So I can only do this once in this particular form. So I can put my answers into here, and I can say I definitely like apples, 5 out of 5 over there. And obviously, I would like to eat my apple today, thank you. And once I've submitted that, I get this thank you and you obviously get the ability to submit another response if you wouldn't necessarily want to. Now, if I go back into Microsoft Forms here, you can see that responses now has appeared. So I'm going to click over here, and you can see now that it's got my response in there. And you can see the different questions, it's showing us the different answers that we've got there. And obviously that will then back. Now we can immediately open that in Excel if you want to. You can delete responses, you can print them, you can do all the bits and pieces there. So that gives you a good idea of exactly how a form will work. So the next one I wanted to show you was the quiz option. Now, it works very, very similar. The only difference here, obviously, is we've now with a quiz, there's always a right answer. With a form, people have got the ability to give an opinion on what they, how they're actually responding to those questions. But with a quiz, there's a right and a wrong answer in most cases. So we'll stick with the theme. Do you like apples? Now, you might think that's subjective. However, we're going to, of course, there's only one answer with this one. Of course, the answer is that we can type it in. Obviously, we can do it ourselves, and we don't want to do that there. Do you like apples is our question, and it's either yes or no. And we can here, now we can even delete them, have the ability to display a message to respondents who select this answer. So we click this one here. So those that say yes, we say, yay. Great choice. I'm also going to make this one here, that is the correct answer. Everybody should like apples. And And again, you've got all the other functionality it has before. But see, the difference here in this one is that ability to show them the display and message on the once they've selected it. So, for example, we click over here to no, it's not the right answer, but I can say, really? And you get the idea of exactly how that works on that front. Okay, so now we get, again, the opportunity to change our theme, and we can preview a question. And now, obviously, now when we say yes, and we submit that answer, we get our little response here. Yay, great choice. Obviously, now I can't show you again because I've now submitted that particular one, and it shows me I've got my points here at 100% because I've got 100% of those questions right. So you can do exactly the same thing. You create your quizzes with all the different answer types, with the ability to display the messages, but also the ability to select which is the right or wrong answer, and again collect all of that data. So you can think of all kinds of way in your business that you can create these quizzes and get some of that feedback that you is really important to you. Now, it could be internally, it could be with your customers, but I think Microsoft Forms is a really simple to use system that enables you to share these quizzes and these forms really, really easy. They can make them look really nicely, and they take absolutely minutes to create. So I encourage you to log into your Office 365 portal, take a look around, have a little play, create some forms, share them with colleagues, maybe with some customers, and see how you get on. But I hope you have lots of fun using Microsoft Forms, and look out for our next vlogs in the coming weeks. Speak to you soon.